Meet Zoomlock, the 10-second flame-free refrigerant fitting from Parker. Reduce labor costs by 60% with no brazing, no flame, and no fire spotter. Discover how Zoomlock can help you be more efficient and productive. Visit Zoomlock.com for more information.
Always underestimated, quiet and intense. We are the gears of the machine, and we make all the difference. What the light will... Got ourselves a unit from 2009. 410A, coil's freezing up. We got 240 on the high side, and 62 on the low side. Let's go take a look at that coil, see what it looks like. Looks like we got an ADP coil. Definitely freezing up, coming out of the TXV. Definitely not good. It is made, you can see it's 410A here. So, let's see if we see what it looks like. Kind of dirty. Freezing across the bottom. I like to go over with the leak detector, see what's what. So far there's no leaks up here on the ADP. I'm gonna go underneath it and check it too. We got the run cap bandit here. Oh no. And we got a Rye old 1988. That is Israel minus 1 year old right there. Look down there. I don't know if you guys can see this stuff or not, but the accumulator's got a whole lot of oil around it, or it looks like oil. I'm not positive, but from here it does. But I've been wrong before. So I'm gonna make sure the power shut off. We'll check it out. It's definitely oily. Take some of that crap out. I don't see any oil anywhere else. Oh, wait. Guys, I'm putting some juice in the machine. It's 410A, so all my gas are up. I know the accumulator is leaking, but it's also Friday, and these guys will be boiling if I don't get them some cooling. So I'm going to go ahead and get them some cooling, and I will send in the estimate for replacing the accumulator, which shouldn't be too awful bad. Parts not the bad part. It's really the installation process, because you got to take all the refrigerant out of the machine and all that good stuff. So I'm going to put a couple pounds in here. We'll see where we're at. We have an airflow split of over 20 degrees. Looks like it's about 21. So let's revisit the return over here in the darkness. See what we get as far as relative humidity. I'll leave it on here for a minute, and then we'll come back to it and we'll see what it says after it settles out. Try to get it. That dew point, Webo. Our relative humidity is going down, it looks like. But with the split of 21, 22 degrees, our relative humidity really needs to be between 40, 45% or so to really justify that big of a split. More than likely, we just have crappy airflow. So we do have it in the upper 50s, it looks like. So upper 50s would really be like a 17 degree split, somewhere in the 16, 17, 18 degree range. Since we are getting a 21, 22 degree split, we should really check the blower speeds on this thing, but I'm not going to get into it too much because it's already leaking, so I'm going to ask them what they want to do as far as how many repairs they want to make. This grill isn't the best in the world. It's kind of, you can see it's pretty thin opening, so a different grill would be great, but it's the one that came with it, so what are you going to do? Hey guys, we're looking at a train unit here, and it is, well, it used to be variable speed, as we can see from the controller. Let me bring it up here. In the crawl space, there's the old controller from a long time ago. 16-pin connection, variable speed control board. The motor was bad, the transformers. So I have retrofitted it to a 3/4 horsepower. It's a 5-ton machine. The variable speed motor is actually 1 horsepower, but typically they only make them in 1/2 horsepower and 1 horsepower, and I don't care any 1 horsepower PSC motors. So I put my 3/4 horse in and I'm testing it, and it was below the amp rating. Has like a 5.3 rating, and I'm on high speed with the door open, and it's still down below, or right at 5. So we're good to go there. It's going to go down a little bit once I put the door back on. And I got my relay in there, the ECM 255. I put a new transformer in there, kind of have the controls recessed at an angle, and kind of mess the wires right there. I took out the old terminal block because it was so corroded. Let's see if we can't find that sucker. Here we are. The old terminal blocks are so corroded, so I just took it out, used the wires I needed, because you don't need all the wires to go into the air handler when you have a PSC motor. I have my green disconnected because I was jumping it out so I could test it. Everything runs, so I tell the homeowner he might lose a little bit of airflow, but truthfully he probably won't lose any. He'll probably be just fine. So I just like to give him I brace him, because it was either this or the variable speed motor, which is about 2.5 times more to install on a system that's 18 years old. So he chose just to let me cowboy it up. So I'm gonna button it back up and we're gonna turn it on. But I just want to show you guys some of the components there, and we could go into a little bit. The capacitors right back there. I put everything where you can service it, and man, I just re-engineered it all together. What do you think, cowboys? Good or bad? Those of us with dirty hands, blood stains intertwine, right away each morning to grind it out another time. The faces in the mirror, and not as young as they once were, but they're proud.